Hi, I'm Caleb.
Hi, I'm Darian.
And we're here to talk about
Children's games.
children's games.
I feel like this was long overdue, so much so that I actually thought we already did this.
I know. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we did do the family games, but this is like literally for kids.
Literally for kids.
That are probably, I mean, most of these you can play at age 3 and up.
Yeah, because we played them with our 3-year-old.
Yeah, some of them maybe even 2 years old. So yes, specifically one you can play at 2 years old. But yeah, so we have kids, obviously.
Yes.
And the majority of these we have played with them. There's just a few that we haven't, but I know that we could.
Yeah.
Easily.
Based on what else we've played.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we tried a few of these and we're like, oh yeah, this has to be on the list. So, but yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and kick it right off and start with honorable mentions.
Yes.
So, the two that did not make it were, so I have one and she has one. So mine is I Spy Dig In. I still love. I love all of the I Spy books. Absolutely die for them. They're so good. And what this game does, it's so adorable. You open up the box and it's a little plastic bowl and it has a bunch of little pieces in there.
Different colors.
Yeah, like I think there's 4 different colors.
But they all are basically the same little pieces.
Yeah, it's like there's like a car, there's like a shoe, there's a donut, an ice cream, a bird, like just like whatever. And all you're doing is everybody gets a little card and they look at the card and pretty much what it is there's 6 different things. And you have to find exactly those things. Like there's a red house. So you just dig in, literally dig in, and you get it. And then the first person to fill out their card wins. However, the way that we played it, we took away the timer and just let them do it. It is amazing. So it's more or less of an activity, but I mean it still counts because it is still a game.
So like just watching your little kid.
Yeah.
Your tiny little babies.
Yeah.
Dig in there, trying to grab a little piece, looking for the piece, because like they start blending together because of the same colors mixing, and it's just so cute to watch them do it. Then how happy they get when they find it, it's adorable.
Yeah, yeah. So that is my first honorable mention, and then now what is yours?
And then mine, I like it, but it's not like my favorite. But it's Rhino Hero Junior. It didn't make our list for a reason, I think. Like we like the actual Rhino Hero game. The Junior's okay. Yeah. It's really easy. You're basically you're flipping these tiles for a number, and that number's going to match whatever base of the house, and then you put the roof on, and then it just builds basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of Jenga in a way. Yeah. Like you're building it, and you're making sure that the little rhino, because you have like a little rhino hero, and then a spider monkey guy, and you don't want the spider monkey guy to get to the top, but you also don't want it to fall, like the whole thing.
It's very easy, and honestly, that's why I think it didn't make our list, because it's almost like too easy and almost not fun. Because I've noticed when our kids have played it, they're kind of they'll build it. It's fun if you get their friends with them. Like if you get like a group of kids to do it, it gets more exciting because it's more chaotic, I think, and that's what Rhino Hero even is. Yeah, like just the basic. Yeah. So I think that's why I think it works better if you have like more kids.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, it can. And then there's like a second part of the game, or like you can do this thing where you're just laying out the collars. So it's really, I mean, you can play with a 2-year-old just for that section of it. But still, I mean, just building it. I mean, a 2-year-old can do that really. Yeah. But I think it doesn't get played as much as the other ones do. So yeah.
But now we're going to start with our number 10.
Yes.
And our number 10 is Spot It Junior. I think we've talked about Spot It before. It's a very simple game. You draw 2 cards, you try to find a thing that's matching, and somehow they manage to put it there's one thing matching on every single card.
It's like
kids love it.
There's a fish.
We don't do like a time limit, kind of like what we do with the I Spy Dig In. We don't do a time limit. We let them take whatever they need to do to find it, and it's just so cute.
Yeah, Spot It is a fantastic.
It's so good, game. And then just the excitement they get when they find what they were looking for, and when they're the first person, because we're all doing it together, and sometimes our kids even get it before we do. Yeah, obviously, most of the time when we find it, we wait because we want them to find it, but like sometimes they'll get it before we. We'll flip it.
It's like
our 5-year-old will be like.
It's like that. I think. Well, so the alligators are really easy to see for them sometimes. The gorillas. They always find the dogs somehow. I don't. It's like But yeah, I think it's just color recognition. Like that's the like it's whatever your mind goes to immediately first, and then you look on the other one like, oh, bam, so
yeah. But it's just a very simple game, and it literally is in this tiny little tin can.
Yeah.
You can bring it anywhere. We literally brought it to the beach with us.
Yeah, and there's spot-its.
And you can even play just the normal spot-its, I think, with your kids too.
That's true.
There's just more on there, which and they're not as like big shapes and stuff, which I think is why it's a little bit harder. But like I think you could even try to do it with your kids as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's number 10, Spot-It Junior.
Yes, cool. All right, so number 9 is Ticket to Ride First Journey. Or Ghost Train. It doesn't really matter. So Ticket to Ride obviously is a household name. We love Ticket to Ride. And we finally played it with our oldest, and she really actually was she did need a little bit of help. She's 5 now, but at the time I think she was just turning 5, and so we tried it. But yeah, you might need to assist a little bit. I think really the age read that you want to play it at is 6. Just because of the hidden information with your cards. However, we played it to where they were kind of just out, and she was able to build her little routes, and she kind of understood.
It's basically exactly like Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, it's just a tiny version.
Yeah,
really. I mean,
it literally is the same exact game. So you don't have to really learn anything if you know the game. You just sit down and basically help teach them how to play it. It's just a more simplistic version.
I agree. But yeah, no,
and the game's already simple.
Yeah, exactly. Ticket to Ride is one of the simplest games ever. But yeah, so for kids, it works very well, and the Ghost Train's my favorite because like the whole Halloween spooky season stuff. So
we're very thematic here.
Yes, we sure are. Yeah, but yeah. So that is number 9, Ticket to Ride First Journey or Ghost Train.
Yeah. So number 8 is My First Carcassonne, which this Carcassonne just kind of has like a place in my heart. I don't know what it is. It's just there. It's always going to be there, even though I lose every single time. Yeah. And he wins every single time. We played it with our daughter when she was too young the first time.
Yeah, she didn't quite get it.
She didn't quite understand it, but we played it with her, I think, when she turned 4.
Yeah, I think
she was 3 when we first played it.
Yeah. So, and then we played it not too long ago either, and she just caught on like that. So.
And it's a tile laying game, so it'd be like it's like their first tile placement, and it's random too. So like they got to kind of strategize a little bit, like what they're gonna do or where to place it, because you can miss places where you're gonna put it. Like, and it's very simple. You also get to score points for like whatever character you're playing. The only way that you can actually score is if you close the roads, so like you're all hoping to get like these end road tiles because like there's only so many, just like in Carcassonne itself. So you're all trying to do this and strategize, and eventually you just kind of like end up helping each other out on accident.
Yeah, because if you close a road, then it's like...
And you get points based on that. So that's the only way you get points. And this last time we played it with her, she took it. And I think she won, didn't she? I
think so. Or no, you and her won. Yeah. And then I didn't because... you told her to place it where I couldn't score. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, so I kind of teamed up on him. But it's a really easy game, and it's just really fun, and it's cool to like play a tile placement game with your kids. I don't know what it is about tile placements. They're just so fun.
Yeah.
But
I think it's ages 4 and up, but I think
because we played it at 3, and that was
it was a little too early. I think
too early. She didn't understand the concept of like it had to match certain things, so. But you might be able to do it with your 3-year-old. Just depends. But yeah, so number 8, My First Carcassonne.
Cool. So number 7 is a very special one to me, just because this is out of print. However, they did, I think, just bring it back for it's like a 20-year or 15-year anniversary or something like that. I don't know. But this is called Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters, and it's really interesting. It's a cooperative game where you all are going into this haunted mansion and trying to get these gems and bring them out while also fighting these little ghosts. And when a certain amount of ghosts gets in one room, if you do not go to that room to defeat them, a bigger ghost will happen. And it's like a red ghost. It's really scary. It's like, oh my gosh. But it's so cool. I don't like rolling moves. I don't like rolling dice and then doing the thing. But this one just felt a little bit more fresh because there's a little bit of options.
Yeah. Now this one we have not got to play with our kids yet.
No, and it does say that age I think is like 8 and up. I can't remember, but
I truly believe that we could probably teach our 5-year-old to do it.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's just because there's so many steps with it.
It's just a matter of getting them to understand that the turns are going to be a little bit longer because you got different things that you can do.
So Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters is a really, really cool game. We enjoyed our little time with it, and we can't wait to play it with our oldest. But yeah, it's perfect for that spooky season. So whenever I don't know if it's out yet as of recording this video, but the reimplementation or the anniversary edition is coming, or it is here. So yeah, Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters number 7.
Number 6 is My First Castle Panic.
Yeah.
I think I played this with them really once. But it was really interesting to watch. She learned it really early.
Oh, yeah.
So, My First Castle Panic is a cooperative game. If you ever played the original Castle Panic, it's basically literally just a mini version of that. And they actually do pretty well of condensing it to be a small child's game.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But basically everyone, you get like these cards that have different shapes on them there, and they're also different colors, and they mix and match, doesn't matter. And there's a trail that leads up to the castle walls, and there's goblins and monsters walking on them, and you can play a card where one is standing and it helps battle and defeat them and push them. It actually is a little hard of a game because like they can move up really fast.
Yeah, I get shocked sometimes when I'm
but it's really fun because like you can kind of get into it with like your kid, like you guys are fighting, you're trying to protect the castle, and like it's very just. It feels very thematic, even though it's very small. And of course, they give you the actual standing castle walls, so like
it's knocked down
it always makes it even more fun just building that and putting it out. It's just a really fun game to bring out with your kids, and we haven't played it with our youngest yet.
She kind of tried one time, but didn't get.
Yeah, but I think eventually we'll be able to do it with her.
Now there are different like kind of difficulty levels in a way. So if you really want to make it like a lot more simpler, where the colors don't matter, it's mostly the shapes. You can do that. You can use all the hero cards or whatever, which are like all the
So like you can once it kind of grows with them a little bit. Once they start getting a little bit bigger, if they're not ready for the actual Castle Panic yet, you can still play this, but make it a little bit more challenging. But yeah, so that's number 6, My First Castle Panic.
All right, so number 5 is one of our other favorite cooperative games that we played early in with our 2-year-old at the time, and this is First Orchard by Haba. Haba makes some amazing games. They did Rhino Hero Jr. The Rhino Hero games. Haba makes some great stuff, really good production quality, wood mostly. But this is based on the original Orchard game, which we never really played. I don't know.
I don't think we've actually played it.
No, I've seen it though. But yeah, so what you're doing is you have this basket, and everybody shares the basket. And there are 4 different trees, and then you have this raven or crow, whatever.
4 different fruit trees.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
what's really cool is that there's actual little fruits that you get to place on there. It's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, so like the raven is trying to come in and get all those fruits. And so when he gets to the very end of this trail, the game's over, y'all lose. But what you're doing is on your turn, you're just going to roll a die, and it's going to show a color, and you get that color fruit, and you put it in the basket. Any 2-year-old can do that. And I love it so much because like this is a game that they just want to constantly play. Our 2-year-old at the time was obsessed. She had a hard time focusing on a lot of things, and this was something that really just made her.
She would go over to our game room closet and get it out herself.
Always wants to bring it out.
She even still now does that. She'll bring it out.
And she's 3 now, but like at the time when she was fresh a 2-year-old, she like. It was so wild to watch her. I mean, she was just looking at it all, and it was it was just so adorable. I'm sorry, but like we have the cutest kids ever. First Orchard is such a special game. Hold very dear in our hearts. So this is one that if you have a 2-year-old, I mean, all the way up to 6-year-olds would sit down and play it.
Honestly, without having them roll it themselves, you could probably play this with like a 10-month-old, 9-month-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, because it could help them identify colors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good learning game as well.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, so that is First Orchard number 5.
Yep. Number 4 is also another game we kind of played. Not one of the first games we played with like our kids, but like one of the earlier games. And it's Concept Kids Animals. Mm-hmm. We actually played this version before we even played the actual Concept game.
That's true.
Have we played it yet?
We've never really actually played Concept, but we understand the concept.
We have it, but we haven't played it.
Yeah.
But Concept Kids Animals is what Concept is itself, which is you're giving hints. You got a card, and it tells you what animal it is, and then this board has
it's a big board.
It's a big board. You got different colors. You got different lands they would live in if they're nighttime animals, daytime animals, different feet, claws, other things like fur type, like a whole little thing basically to help describe these types of animals.
Yeah.
If they live underwater, if they don't.
Yeah.
Size of them, everything. And the player who has the card, you get these little, are they squares?
Yeah.
They're little squares, they're really cute, and you get to place them. And then your kid, which is what we've done with it, is let them guess.
Yeah, it's just charades with pictures.
And it's
you're not
so
saying words.
Fun. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm having this much fun with the animals, I can't wait to actually play the concept game.
I know.
Because it is such a fun game, and to watch your kid sit there and
just think about
it and then actually get it, it blows my mind.
I love that it can kind of go up to however many people you want who could stand around the board and look at it. So if you have if you have a tiny classroom, this is the game that you need.
Yeah.
If you want to play a game with your classroom,
it's perfect. And you can get every kid involved, and then you can give the kids themselves turns with drawing a card and trying to get everyone else to guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's also really fun, is to see them try to describe this animal that they're looking at on the board and how they interpret it,
Yeah.
It's just cool. Really fun, and it's honestly a perfect little game.
Yeah.
We've told our friend about it who works with kids and stuff. And she immediately bought it. She immediately bought it, and it's just a really good game.
It is.
So that's number 4, Concept Kids Animals.
All right, so number 3 is a very unique one, very very unique, and I have to thank Rolls in the Family for this on YouTube. They had a really good video about the best children's games. Both, I think they are brothers, and they both have kids. And they had a really amazing comprehensive list of awesome games. And it's so funny. The last 3 here, they recommended. So, it's just very funny. So this one is called No Mercy for Monsters. And I'm just how is this game not everywhere? Yeah. It's so, I mean, we have fun with it. Yeah. We had fun. What was it? It was St. Patty's, and we were just busting this thing out.
Yeah,
and
we just played it without our kids.
Yes.
We just did it ourselves.
Okay.
And it was just...
So this game is beautiful. What it is you have these 10 monsters that are okay, well, let me back up. Let me just explain the box, because the box is a thing. So this box is magnetic. Okay, so you open the box like a book, and then you lift up these walls. And then you attach these little pieces to keep the walls up. And then there's a door, and then there's a window over here. And it's so tiny, too. It's a tiny little box. But you have these 10 monsters lining up to this door. And there's multiple ways to play it, really. You can kind of change the difficulty level for a 2, well, maybe a 3-year-old. I don't know. 2 maybe, actually, maybe. Yeah. But, so what you're doing is you're getting all these monsters, and there goes in, I think, 2 or 3 at a time in one room. And when they get in this room, everybody has all these tokens laid out on the board, or on the table, and you flip one over. If it happens to be a ball, if it happens to be a sock, you throw it in directly, and you're trying to knock them down. It's so cool. Yep. And then if it's a matching sock that fell in the room that's printed on the actual board, you get to rethrow if you missed. And then, so if you have a ball, you have to throw it in through the window. Yep. If you have a bucket, you have to drop it above. And then there's these dice that you can add for complexity and turn it into so the orange die, you have to make a funny face, or one eye closed, or hop on one foot. and it's like anybody
it's just
can
really
do this.
fun. It's like the perfect kid party game.
Yes.
Like it's just so good.
It's
another
fantastic.
one that's good for a classroom, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And this is another cooperative game too. So like you're all working to get them all knocked down before you run out of tokens, pretty much. And you're going through the rooms, and you can, like I said, you can simplify it for any kid. You don't have to use the dice. You can just play it, whatever. But the fact that this game exists and it's not everywhere, it needs to be everywhere.
I know, it's really, it's not talked about.
It's not. It's ridiculous how good this game actually is. And yeah, so that is No Mercy for Monsters. So funny. You're laughing the whole game. And that is our number 3. Yes. And it's worth the buy.
Same thing that he said. This is also from Rolls in the Family, like recommendations that they posted. And that is our number 2, Dragon's Breath.
Yes.
It's a perfect game.
Oh, yes.
And again, the box is a thing. So you build this little thing to like separate squares.
Yeah, it's a little cave.
Little cave. And you get this little platform, put it on, these little dragons hooked to the corners, because each corner is the players, and there's little holes you drop your crystals in. It's just amazing. So basically how the game works is you have these little ice rings. They're not actual ice, obviously, but like there's these little crystal-looking ice rings that you can stack on top of each other. And then you get these little gems. A big bag of like multicolored gems. Different colors. I think there's like 5 different colors.
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah, 5 different colors. I don't remember the colors, but there are 5 different colors. And you build up this ice tower in the middle of this board, right? And there's an actual little token at the bottom of it that also signifies ice. Then you pour in carefully, because you do have to be careful with this. You pour in carefully the little gems. And then basically everyone has to look at that and decide which one's going to fall off the most.
Yeah, and
that they're going to receive.
Right, but you all take turns being the dragon who's going to melt the ice.
Yeah, so everyone's going to look at it, and one person's the main person who's going to actually melt the ice, which just means they're going to be the one to lift up the one ring and not the one ring, but it is, to lift up the ice ring. Yeah,
because you are the dragon at that point.
Yes, you're the dragon who's melting the ice, basically. So it's a little thematic there for that. And once you lift that, the gems are going to fall. Some might fall in a hole that's in the middle of the board as well. Some might just land there. Which, if it lands there and you chose that color, and your color's on the board, you get to take that. Yeah. And then at the end, you're all just counting to see how many gems you got. Yeah. But it's really fun to watch your kids actually, like, because this is a competitive game, actually, like, look, and they're, like, analyzing to figure out what color they need to choose, and from the ones that get left over.
Yeah, because the majority is going to fall, and then you can be left with...
That's what I'm saying. And then to also teach your kids that, okay, if it's not your turn anymore, you're going to be the last person to choose a color, so you might not get the color you want.
Exactly. And if the dragon is to the left of you, you are the last player.
Yes. And it's such a simple game. We played it with our 3-year-old, we played it with our 5-year-old, and it's so fun. Yeah, it's exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. It's very luck-based.
It's fun for the adults because, like, it's very hard to play board games when like the adults are not having fun, because you're just gonna get like,
when it's too easy, or like what's gonna happen.
Or there's no strategy at all. But this actually has a legit strategy that's so simple that anybody can understand. Yeah, because it's all luck driven. Yeah, it's like, well, I think there's gonna be 5 blues falling, but
I don't know how this happens, but our 3-year-old will just look at it and she knows. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's just so fun to watch your kids do it, and I think that's why it deserves to be number 2 on our list, and that is Dragon's Breath.
It is fighting for being number 1 because it's so good.
It was tough, but number 1 definitely deserves its spot.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so number 1, here we go. This is a game called Magic Mountain.
And don't let looks deceive you.
Yeah, it looks like a game straight from the 80s. Yes, it's so funny.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, Magic Mountain is super... It has no right being this good. The only caveat I will say is that the board, if you're not careful, you can kind of press it in. You kind of have to bend it back. But anyhow, it's a slanted board because you have these little plastic things to keep it up and like elevate it. Yeah. Yes, it is cooperative. So what you're doing is so the objective is to get these students to their master or teacher. I forgot it. It's like Merlin, but it's not. It's not that. I forgot his name. Before all the witches do. If the witches get down there, they will steal his staff and they win. If the students get there, they will learn from him and fight back the forces of evil, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's not that complex.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is actually wildly unique. So what it is that you have all the students lined up at top, and then there are other witches along the path. You have these little wisps, which are marbles, like I guess they're plastic. But you, sorry. So you have this bag, and there's 5 different colors. You pull one out of the bag, and then you can place it anywhere you want above the student. So since it's inclined, it's going to rest against that little student, and you're trying to move that student to the next spot that colored marble is.
Where that color marble is, and hope that it might hit.
Exactly, but it has to be along the path, so it has to be the very next one. So what you're doing is you're grabbing that and moving it really quick, and then if it hits the student again, you get to move it down further and further and further. But normally it's going to hit like only once or twice, because like the odds of it's you never know. Yeah, so it actually is slightly thinky compared to like a lot of other kids games. Like I find myself actually analyzing this one more than any of the other games, because I'm like, okay, if we put the red one there and the next red one's here, the witch is right there, so it could go here, but if we put it over here, the red one could be. So you're really talking this out. And you know, the kids are going to kind of do whatever, which makes it more fun.
No, I'll be honest. Our 5-year-old, she really
will talk it out.
She she'll be like, okay, if I do this, this is going to go there, and this is going to go here. And like she says that out loud, just basically like what you were saying.
Exactly.
She does that out loud. And it's adorable to watch.
Yeah, true. No, it's so cool because like I said, it's all inclined, and then you're just getting them down as quick as you possibly, well, not as quick as possibly can, but like you want to move them as fast as you can, so it might hit again. So and the whisker's just moving them.
If the little marble thing hits a witch, then that witch is going to move down to that next color as well. Exactly. And so it's the same thing with the students, but you're wanting to hopefully get the students down before all the witches.
Yeah.
And like the.
Oh, you're right. No, please.
The actual base at the bottom of it, where you would put them, has like 2 different difficulties basically, where one side's harder, and one side's easier.
Yeah, actually, I think there's like different levels too. I think there's like 7 different levels or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's so cool. It's so fun, but like I said, the only caveat is like you can bend the board. I think over time it'll probably eventually like not be as flat or whatever. But it's a perfect game to me because it just is so different from anything else we've ever seen. And that's why it has to be a number one. We love it so much.
It's a luck, dexterity game
with a little bit of strategy.
And that's a kid's game.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just so cool.
Yeah. Because the adults are like, I mean, you and me talk this out, like, okay, if this happens here,
yeah.
We're just
and just to play it with our kids, even our 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so fun. And that's why it definitely deserved to be number 1.
Agreed. So
that was number 1.
Cool. All right, guys. Awesome. We just finally did this video, which we needed to do for a very long time.
I literally thought we had done it before. I swear, I literally had. I asked him multiple times. I was like, I thought we did it.
I think I had a dream about it too. A long time ago, and
that's why we did it. But I'm glad to have finally done it because we have kids. I know a lot of people who play board games, or just people out there who have family. There's some type of kid in your family, and you want to be able to play board games with them too. So
these are some of the best ones. I'm telling you. I mean, honestly, if you can get all 10 of these games, you will never be, or your kid will never be bored.
Oh yeah, it's just so fun to watch our kids just go over to the closet and pull a game out by themselves and just want to play. But thank you guys.
So if you are wanting to check out any of these games, definitely check out your local board game store. Our store is Family Game Night. They are
located in West Virginia.
Yes, they're awesome human beings. We love the heck out of them. And they have so many good children's games. They actually have Magic Mountain. I saw it a few times there. So
it's just really fun.
Yeah. But so wherever you are, definitely go to your local board game store. Yes, please do. It helps
keep board games alive.
Build that community. Build it. It's so important. So that's what we're here to do, is just encourage you folks who are watching and enjoying these good old videos. So
Thank you guys so much for watching. We actually really appreciate you guys every single time that you make it to the very end of the video. Because then you get little surprises like this.
Oh, God. That surprised me. Okay, go.
Please comment down below if you know any kid games that we did not mention on this list, because we are always looking for more. Please, please, please. And be sure to share it to your friends or family, or, you know, just anybody with kids, you know, help them out. And please hit that subscribe button, because it definitely helps us out, and it helps encourage us too, for us to keep going. And hearing from you guys helps us keep going. So don't ever stop.
Don't ever stop, guys.
We love you.
Yep. So, all right. We'll see you in the next video, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.